Hello. Wait for a couple people to join. And I'm going to go ahead and add the website here as a comment. Hi, Nicole. Just adding this. So that way it's on there. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm going to wait until a couple more people join. Hope you guys are having a good week. I am doing good. Pneumonia is almost out of my body. So that is the reason I'm able to do this. Dad's here. Okay, so I'm going to wait until, I'm going to give it one more minute before I start. Thanks, Mom. Before I start the official one. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how Dad remembers 4th grade. We're going to talk about how Dad remembers 4th grade when I was in 4th grade. And pretty much anything else that comes up about the book. And just chit chat. You'll kind of see where half of my personality comes from. And then on the final week, you'll see where the other half comes from when you meet my mom. So, like I said, we'll just do 30 more seconds, and then I'll intro him, and then I will add him to the video. Hi, Katie. Let's see, I think Nicole's there too. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and read. I don't know if you guys are as big into acknowledgments as me, but that was my favorite part of the book. Once I was done, I was like, oh my gosh, Oscar speech. So I'm just going to go ahead and read what I wrote for Dad, so you kind of get our relationship, and then I'll add him, and we will start chit-chatting. Okay, so everything good that's happened to me is because of my parents. I was able to spend my childhood being a child. Without a doubt, these people were put on earth to be parents. Outside of bio siblings, I share you guys with a lot of other millennials. And if it takes writing a 200-page book for your undivided attention, it will have been worth it. And yes, that is a Hamilton reference. Dad, you had a plan for your kids, and I rearranged your plan. You let me be strong-willed, likely because I got it from you. Some of my most passionate debates have been rewarded with a smile from you. And with this book, you've read every chapter, given me feedback, laughed at the jokes, even helped me pick age-appropriate names for the characters. You have sky-high standards, and meeting them feels like winning the lottery. So now you get where my dad fits in. He's the one with the high standards. So let's go ahead and meet him, and we'll go ahead and see how many. Oh, Uncle Brian's on. Hi. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add him to the party. So he should be here, and then I will read comments because he will not have his glasses on. Hey guys, here's Jimbo.
Let me go ahead and adjust this so that you can see me.
There you go. Oh, we both have that. We both figured it out. Yeah, I got my girls hiding behind my hair. Hey, Libby. Okay, so first of all, you're Dad. But,
I am Dad.
But we call you, I'm not allowed to, but I often call you Jimbo. So I want to know who gave you that name.
So this is a real interesting story. My father named me James Rollins Burns Jr. While my mom was still unconscious after birth. My mom had no idea whatsoever. No, it was already done by the time she came to from either sleep or being unconscious. I was already named. And now we're from Southern Ohio. So Southern Ohio is real hillbilly. For those of you who've never been to Southern Ohio,
it's Kentucky, basically, right?
It is hillbilly. It is where we're from might as well be Northern Kentucky because it's only a mile away from Kentucky, right across the Ohio.
Jaylani's on. Hi. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to say random highs throughout this. Okay, so Poppy named you without permission.
So Poppy named me James. My father always calls me James.
Oh yeah,
My
right.
my mother called me Jim, Jimbo, Jimmy Dude,
Anything.
Dude, Bo, James. When she called me James Rollins, I knew I was in trouble.
This is just
But
like how you do nicknames with me.
yeah,
I have
you have
400 nicknames
almost as
for
many.
you.
You have almost as many nicknames. You sure do.
So she just didn't want to have to go with James. She wanted some
She
control over your name.
She never did. She again, if she ever called me James, I knew I was in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
She rarely called me James, but that's all Dad ever called me.
So it was early that you were Jimbo. Like you don't
I don't
remember
remember
not being
ever being,
Jimbo.
and my aunts and my cousins in Ohio still call me Jimbo, except they say it like this: Jimbo,
Because they're hillbillies.
Jimbo.
Jimbo. Yeah, because that's how it is for Boogie. They're like, I'm sorry, Christina's coming.
Yeah,
No, it's
who's
Boogie.
that? Is Boogie coming? That's right.
Okay, so you were a Navy kid. So
Navy.
did you stick to the same school all of fourth grade?
So fourth grade was actually the second grade that I ever started the school year and ended the school year in the same school.
Okay, cool.
So I think I went to two different first grades, three different second grades in two different states, three different cities, and then third, fourth, and fifth grade were all in the same school, which was very,
Okay.
very rare for us. I mean, we moved a lot.
Oh yeah,
We
you
moved a
guys
lot.
were all three in
Yes,
elementary at the same time.
we were all in elementary at the same time,
Yeah, so
and
Dad's the middle kid. That'll probably explain the rest of any stories he tells to our listeners. Okay, so you were new when you started fourth grade, or it was the same school you were in for third grade?
I had been there for the second grade for the last few months of second grade, and then all of third grade I was there.
Okay. So you didn't so did you have a first day of school that just terrified you? Like
Uh,
were you ever that Lena nervous?
almost every first day of school terrified because I was in a different school.
That's what I
We
mean. I
were
just can't even
we
picture
were
it.
always the new kids, and here's what you have to understand. My brother, who is on this call right now, was always a giant. So
Yeah.
he was 6 feet tall in the third grade or fourth grade. So he was always out there, right? I
Okay.
mean, you saw him when we moved in, and then Fran, my sister, who's a year
Yeah.
younger than me, she when we got to high school, she's the head cheerleader,
And she's
and
three
then
feet
there was,
tall.
and then yes, and she was very little, very petite, very
Very
cute.
like opposite siblings.
Yes, my brother was a giant, my sister was a little person.
Yeah, teeny person.
She's still teeny to this day. And so I am the middle child. I was average in height until I started high school, and I was very, very short.
Did
But
you
in the
like did you ride on their popularity
no,
coattails? No?
no, no, that's so interesting with the three of us. We were never I didn't feel that there was ever any sibling rivalry. For one reason, no one knew we were siblings. my
Because
my brother's a giant. I
oh,
mean,
right.
why? No, people did not put us together, and we didn't really have a problem with that.
Because it
I
don't.
certainly didn't.
There you go. He was extremely popular, is what your sister just
He
said.
was he was he was he was the man.
So
He
I must have gotten it
always.
from Uncle Brian then.
Yeah, that's where you got.
Okay,
And I
so
was
okay.
and I was extremely shy.
So
Extremely shy.
this blows my mind because I've always thought I have my outgoingness from you, but I think I am the adult version of you more than the kid version of you. So like I
Yes.
am more I've never been shy in my life, but I've only seen you, since you've been 25. So this kid version of you is complete. I literally have never even thought to ask. But
Mika
Mika
was the shy one. Mika
was
was
shy
extremely
in fourth
shy.
grade.
Yes.
So maybe she was kid you.
No question.
Huh.
There's no question. She was very shy. I was extremely shy. And as I said, I was short when I started middle school, I was an extremely good athlete, but I was very
You
short.
were playing baseball, is that right?
Only baseball. We didn't know
Baseball.
any other sport back then.
Oh,
We
weird.
hadn't. I hadn't started playing football, and we hadn't started playing basketball. So it was only baseball.
Um, so Dad, you have to say hi to Emily. She just joined, and she's your biggest fan.
Hi, hi, Emily. I'm one of your biggest fans too,
Oh,
Emily.
hey. Lots of hearts, lots of hearts. So yeah, so me and Mika were opposites. Gracia was always quiet, and then by the
Yes,
time Tristan came around, we weren't even on the same path. We were kind of never in the same school together. So I don't really. I mean,
correct.
I did have the cousins, the stair steps with one in every grade, but they of course didn't think that Tish and I were related.
No, they
You
thought
know,
you and Aaron were brother and sister. So
right? Aaron and I are twins. You're apart, different parents. So okay, so it's your first day of school. Did you guys ride school buses?
no, we walked to school,
Oh, you didn't.
and
You didn't use covered
yes,
wagons.
no, but you know the story that people often tell about walking to school in the snow both ways, going to school and coming home. We literally walked to school in the snow, and from our house to the school was a slight little hill. So
Mm.
yes, we walked to school uphill, and when we came home from school, we also walked uphill.
So,
So yes,
Jess has requested a shout out. Can you please say hi to Jess?
Jess, who's
Yeah,
Jess?
she said she's
Do
your
I
other kid. Just say you just gotta
Jess,
say hi.
another one of my daughters that I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, how
Okay.
many do you have at this point
I
with
there
all
are
the people
hundreds.
who just opt
There are
in?
hundreds, and most of the girls' friends just call me dad or pops. So, and I'm
Yeah,
perfectly fine with that. And if you don't like that, you can call me Uncle Jim.
yeah. I call him pops. I that's kind of mine. So watch out, people. Y'all can call him dad, Jimbo. He loves it when people younger than him call him Jimbo. Okay.
Not too keen on my daughter calling me by my first name.
Yeah, I learned it from Full House when Stephanie said called her dad Danny, and so then I did it that same day, and he was like, "Oh, never again." And so now I
Yeah,
can't
no.
get grounded, so I'm
Yeah, no,
using that.
no. That didn't work too much.
Okay, so since you moved around, I'm curious
Yes.
what your friendships were like.
What my
Like,
what were?
did you have a best friend?
No.
Huh.
So I now here's what's so interesting. You asked earlier, did I ride on the coattails of
Yeah.
my siblings? And the only thing that I did is so military families generally have multiple children.
Right.
And
Almost always three.
it would often work out to where my brother's friends would have a little brother.
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and that's where my friends would come from his friends. I was not very outgoing, so when we would go to a new school, I would make friends off of my brother's friends.
Okay. So you did use a little bit of his, a little bit of his
Certainly.
popularity.
But here's the reason why. My mom would not let my brother go anywhere unless he took me with him.
Yeah,
So,
because you were gonna water down the fun. You're like the fire extinguisher for all the
yeah, I
brothers.
was. I don't want to say I was the killjoy, but I was definitely the yin to his yang.
Yes, yes. I mean, I definitely feel that with funny enough with Gracia and Mika. There's a three-way polar opposite because
Yes.
none of us are similar or were similar at that.
No, I used to describe you guys like this. You're a triangle.
Yeah, it's three
So
very
you're
like really far
complete
apart.
different sides, but you all share something with the other.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then when Tristan came around, it was a square.
It's gonna be a square, and we're the
So
four corners of it,
yes,
far
yes.
far apart. Okay, so what city where were you living when you were in fourth grade?
So when I was in the fourth grade, we were living in Great Lakes, Illinois, which is near the naval base in Illinois. My father was, as they say, pushing boots. He was a very good company commander. He was not one
Oh,
of those cruel company commanders, but Brian and I can share stories for years
Uh-oh.
on what it was like to be in the barracks with the recruits who
No.
had never been away from home before, and they're 17, 18, 19 years old, and they're from the South, and now they're in this frozen tundra
Oh my
of
goodness.
Great Lakes, Illinois, and
So
they've never been
cold.
away from home, never been off the farm. But we were so used to moving. We were so used to being around other people. We were never intimidated by other people.
Okay. That's
I
good.
was shy around my peers.
Oh, but not like grown-ups and
No, because there
right.
were always new grown-ups.
Hmm.
And we lived on military bases.
So this was it Vietnam or was it between
It was
wars?
Vietnam.
Wow.
This was Vietnam.
Jeez.
And yes,
I never
yeah.
even put all that together. That that's what Poppy was
the
fighting.
world was the world was very, very different, very different. Even then it was sort of segregated.
Right, right.
I went to one school in the second grade, and there were, to my remembrance, there were only 5 black kids in the entire school.
And you guys were three of them?
My brother and my sister. And in my class there was a girl named Rosemary. In my brother's class was Rosemary's brother, and I believe that was it. I don't remember any other. It was not fun, I can just tell
I
you that.
love Rosemary. She was a good
And then we moved,
player.
and then we left that school in the second grade and went to the school. Let's see, it was Great Lakes Elementary School,
Okay. Right.
and
So,
so
mhm.
So where we lived, the way we lived in the fourth grade, military families are generally close because that's all we have. I mean, you're especially the kids. You're on the base. If you don't make friends with the kids there, you don't have any outside friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the families are only there for a couple of years, so
That's
you
cool.
so
That's my
you make
friend.
friends quickly. And playing sports was our
Okay.
way. That
Because you
was our
got
way
to
out.
socialize and you got out of the house and do
Yes,
things.
and here's the interesting thing is they would always choose my brother first because
No, what a
he
shock.
was the giant, and my brother would tell them. Brian would say, "You better pick my brother. You
Oh,
better pick my brother.
no.
If you
None of my
don't, it's
sisters went
not
to
going to
bat
be
for me.
good. You
No.
better pick my brother." So it was we always had a really good time. We
What
had
a
a
good big
great time growing up.
brother. Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
you guys got along so well. So it's funny that you were in Illinois at this age because I always think when I hear you speak that you have the Illinois accent of your siblings. So like Auntie Franny sounds like she's from New York or Rhode Island. Are you frozen? Oh, I think you might have froze.
Okay.
And then
Yes.
Uncle Brian sounds like Ohio. But you always sounded Illinois to me, so Illinois to me. So I wonder if it's that age that you get your accents. Because you got, I mean, you all three grew up together, but none of you sound the same.
No, we don't. As a matter of fact, Fran is much more California
Well, he's
than
California
Brian.
with a little turn the light on, turn it off.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I think my little sister kind of stresses that just a little bit.
Oh, that couldn't
Oh,
be her. So okay.
couldn't be my sister.
Mm-mm.
But
Okay.
yeah, fourth grade was one of the years that I probably had the least transfer of emotions because
Hmm.
we went to the school, started there the next year, and the fourth grade was a good year. My teacher was Miss Sheridan,
Aw.
and Miss Sheridan was a little old lady. I think she was 135,
Yeah. Just like Miss Burns.
and she was little and she was mean. And it's interesting. I remember one real
Little ones usually
interesting
are
thing
mean.
about her. She used to pick the dead flowers off of her geraniums every day. And I thought that was the meanest thing, that she's pulling the flowers off of her geranium.
Why?
Of course, I didn't know. I didn't understand then that
Because
that's the absolute best thing to do.
she was like upkeep. You're like, she's so mean. She kills
She is
plants.
so mean. She's pulling the flowers off of that plant every day. And she was a very, very strict teacher.
I don't like them.
The fourth graders did not want Miss Sheridan at all.
I do
And
not respond to strict teachers.
She was very strict.
I
Yes.
complicate their lives until they transfer me to another teacher.
Yes, especially when you ask for the syllabus so you can know how many points you want to get so you can stop studying for the rest of the year.
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
smart. That sounds like good thinking. Okay,
Yeah,
so oh, did you ever so you're a boy and you have
I
a
am.
brother. Did you
I
guys
do.
ever go to slumber parties? I truly don't know if boys go to slumber
No.
parties. No,
No.
because of the time, or no, because boys don't go to slumber parties.
No, I don't. It wasn't even a thing. We if we spent the nights overnight somewhere, it was going to be Cub Scouts. But no, I don't recall ever spending the night at a friend's house
Hmm.
until we were in high school.
Okay, but you did in high school
Yeah, and that was just at one friend's house, and that was generally because we were going to a concert somewhere or something.
to go watch
But
Prince,
no, there weren't slumber parties.
and that was Channel Islands, right? You were in
And that was
California.
Channel Islands in Oxnard,
How
California.
much of high school were you in California?
All
Oh, that's good.
California high school was actually the only place we went. We began and ended at the same school.
All three.
All three of us.
Oh, okay.
And
No wonder you guys love those reunions. That's
you're
like
right.
the only.
And my dad, he had commented when we were when we were in junior high school or starting high school that
Uh-huh.
he wanted us to go to the same school and graduate. He wanted us all to graduate from the same school.
Yeah, he was big on graduating. I remember how much it was for us to go
Yeah.
because we all did we all yeah I think all his grandkids graduated from the same school until
No,
Angela.
no,
No,
no. The twins graduated from Westwood.
yeah, there's that age break, and then they had transferred districts or something had moved. But
Right.
okay, so you don't have a best friend. You didn't do friendship bracelets. You didn't do slumber
No,
parties. So now I'm
no.
curious to know which character or characters in the book you identify with and maybe why.
This is so interesting because the three main girls of the three, I only identify with two of them, Alani and Mina.
Okay, yeah, right.
I
Because
did not.
Uncle Brian's Cara. So
No, Uncle Brian and Auntie Franny are Cara.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
So the others, the ones that maybe have a little bit less of the spotlight.
Yeah, so Mina being shy,
Yeah,
being very
and
shy,
the new kid.
and the new kid,
Yeah.
I definitely identified with that. We were all very smart. We weren't allowed to not be smart. We
Mm.
couldn't bring, for the most part, we couldn't bring home a B in a class that we should have gotten an A in.
What class were you good
So,
at? Like, what was your class? Like,
oh, I loved math, loved
mm,
science.
typical boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, of course, going into high school was just a blast.
Yeah, because you get kind of electives and stuff. Yeah, high school is
Geology,
the best.
oceanography.
I know geologist. That one will
You
come up
were
in a couple weeks.
you were definitely no geologist.
Just wait for the backstory on that one. Okay, so high school was good for me too. Fourth grade for me was like perfect. I think it was kind of that like sweet spot of like knowing I'm about to grow out of this. I'm about to, things are going to change. You're going to go to middle school or
Okay,
whatever.
so let me tell you about your fourth grade. See,
Ready.
you were seeing fourth grade in the way that you were of this certain person. You were that certain person because you were the oldest of the siblings,
Hmm.
cousins at Palm Springs Elementary School. The older ones weren't there anymore.
So I ran the
So
show.
you started running the show in second grade, but that's a whole nother
Yeah, I
story.
mean, I was born bossy.
You were yeah, you were born something.
Did you, when you first read it, because you read I mean, forever ago,
Yes.
did you know which character, did you feel like one of the characters was me more than the others?
Yes, Alani.
Okay, so you're correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You were Alani, you were not Cara and you weren't Mina.
Kara's just a dream that it's a dream is a wish my heart makes, sort of. And then Mina is everybody else. So Mina is like, because in fourth grade for me, I would say like, the teacher would be like, "We have a new kid coming," and I'd be like, "Send him to me."
Right.
So Mina is all of those people put together, and then Mika being shy, my sister being shy in fourth grade. I kind of had a little bit of her. Everybody's a mix. Did you relate to any of the parents?
Oh my God. Yes. The two
Yeah, the
dads
dads.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh my. Now I have not a musical bone in my body.
So dad number 3 that's introduced in book
So,
2.
so Alani's dad, no.
Yeah.
But definitely Kara's dad. I wore a suit to work every day for
Mm-hmm.
years.
True.
I would
Yeah.
come home from work and not even take my tie off until I was taking my shoes off to get ready for bed.
Right.
Yes.
Fancy man.
Yeah, so yes. And of course, the calling the nicknames of my
Oh my
girls and
gosh.
always making them give me a hug before they leave.
Yes.
I don't even care to this day if I see you're giving me a hug, and you're going to definitely, if it's not too embarrassing, which I don't really care about, you're
No,
going to
you
give me a kiss. You're going to give me a kiss as
yes.
well.
And you're gonna say, oh, they call you ditzy dancer. Okay.
Oh, oh,
Ugh,
I
yeah.
hated that.
That
Oh my
entire
gosh.
part where he's like, "Give me a kiss," and she's like, "Dad, please don't make me do this." That was just straight from
Yes,
life, as was the
absolutely.
lollipop. So, do you remember when I got in trouble for the eating all the Red Hots in kindergarten?
Okay, so you got in trouble for doing a lot of things, and then you actually said you didn't do them. And with the red hots, you have red all over your face, all over your fingers. And it's so funny because,
I lied.
first of all, your parents know your tendencies.
I'm
When
not
something
even a
happens, we
liar.
already know who did it.
I'm not a good liar at all.
We already know which one of you did it. So,
Of course I
uh,
did it. Of course I
so
did.
someone is asking a question about dance parties.
Oh, okay. So, Katie, um, dance parties. I had a lot of dance parties, but
Yes.
I'm guessing for you, it was school dances. Were the only
Well,
thing.
I don't recall a school dance until middle school.
Same. Yeah, I don't think
And
they have them before that.
and
We
then
had a
in high
sock hop.
school, I mean, we didn't go to anyone's house for a dance. I mean, if there was a birthday party, it was a birthday party. Cake
Hmm.
and ice cream, go home.
I wonder
It
how much of
wasn't
this is the difference in decades versus the difference in boy versus girl. I guess we'll find out when I
I
interview the other boomer.
I don't know. I don't know. My sister didn't go to birthday party. She did have
Hmm.
two friends in our little
Little group.
area where we lived, where there were two girls. She would spend the night with them, but the boys never did. There weren't extended long and this ridiculous thing called play dates. Oh,
Yeah, those
that's
didn't
just
exist for us either.
no,
But also,
no. But when
we were surrounded by cousins, so every day was a play date.
Yes, every
I
day there were 15 people.
Yeah.
Now, my dad was an excellent dancer. My mom couldn't dance at all,
Woo! I
and
definitely got
so
him, Poppy.
we definitely danced at home.
I
And
don't
they
think I ever
now
saw
our
Daniel.
parents had a lot of parties.
Oh, okay.
Our parents had a lot of parties.
So that's a fun memory from fourth grade for me. Is you guys hosted a Christmas party at Nana's house, so like a mile and a half
Yes,
away, and
yes.
all the adults, to keep them from having to pay for a babysitter, all the guests were told to send their kids to the kid house, and
To
which was
our house.
which was Dad's house, and so they
Yep.
would leave. You drop off your kids until question mark, and then you'd head a mile down to the party. You didn't have to worry about if you had to, if you stayed out long, if you didn't want to take them home till the morning. It was like, and there was no one watching us. It was like a group
Gracia
chaperoning,
was always in charge.
self chaperone. But I mean, she was
Right.
young.
And Gracia was in charge, and she was a seventh or eighth grader.
Yeah, so I remember there
Yes.
was a boy that I liked that came over one of the one of the times, and he fell asleep, and so I like tried to lay on the other side of the pillow next to him.
So now this wasn't Ryan, was it?
No, Ryan was third grade.
Oh,
This was fourth or
yeah,
fifth grade. But that
yeah,
was our entire relationship, he and I. We went to school together, but that was it, you know. Sometimes you
yeah.
just know. As soon as you lay on that pillow, you're like, never mind. I'm over it. Okay,
I'm glad I
so
didn't find out until now, so I can't put you on restriction because
yeah, you would try though. You would
that
try.
would be a restrictable
Honestly, it was like
offense.
2 a.m. I think we were both just sleepy. I was like, I'm gonna use that pillow. So it wasn't much. Okay, so I don't know anything about what kind of a kid I was to you. Like in your summation, everything's through fourth grade eyes when I talk about myself. Mom said Ryan
So,
was third grade. I know, Mom.
just in case everyone out there does not know, Christina
Christina.
is a mathematical genius. She has been since she was 3 years old when she started doing her sister's homework.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love doing their
so
homework.
I'm just, this is a real short one about when she was 3. And we would take her to the pediatrician, Dr. Marudla Deshpande.
Deshpande.
And
The earache. The ear
on Miss
infection.
Deshpande's wall was a chalkboard. And instead of doodling flowers or doll babies or whatever, Christina would do math problems. And so the doctor would come in and she would say, Mr. Burns, that's very strange. She's doing math. She's doing this. She's not making pictures of flowers. And I said, well, no,
It's weird.
she's doing her math problems. And she says, her math problems. Oh, she's remembering her sister's homework. And so I said,
I
no,
wanted new
she's
ones.
making them up and solving her own.
Such a
So
weird kid.
I had grand expectations that my daughter was going to be a genius
Yes, mathematician,
mathematician, uh,
economist,
a
engineer.
NASA engineer, scientist, something.
I just
And
wrote, and
my
all I did was write a
child
book.
wants to be a meeting planner.
No, I wanted to be a professional dancer.
You wanted to be a professional dancer, but
So
then
guys,
when you got to
so here's
school,
here's
you
what
wanted to
happened.
be a meeting
I
planner.
wanted to I wanted to major in dance at college. Particularly when I was going to go to HBCU, but Dad said, "Oh, okay. You want to major in dance? Do you know how many dance majors work with me?" And Dad does not have or at the point he's retired now. There's no dance involved in his state job. So he was saying it's not really going to be, hi, Auntie Alana. It's not really going to be what you think it is. Like, what's a career in dance after you turn 27? So then I was like, well, I love planning, and it is a little bit of creative, a little bit of logic, a lot of bit of logic. And that was kind of a new career I hadn't thought of before. Plus, I don't know what a mathematician is. Like, do they just tell the calculators how to work? And then economy classes I loved, like economics. Those were good. They actually courted me at college to switch to economics because they didn't have girls of color and they didn't really have girls in the program. And they're like, you like it so much, why don't you? And I was like, it'll make my dad too happy. I gotta rebel. I gotta rebel. So,
Yes.
what did you think you were gonna do? Like, what when you were fourth grade or whatever? What were
So
the big
when I was
plans
a
for you?
fourth grader, I was absolutely going to be a professional baseball player. No question.
Oh, that's so cute.
Or no, now here's the other one. I was either going to be a professional baseball player or I was going to be in the military like my dad.
Oh, I don't like that
And
option.
and I used to tell my dad all the time, I said, well, Dad, when I go into the military, I'm going to outrank you, so you're going to have to salute me.
Oh
And
no.
I don't think that ever went over well.
Yeah, I don't think he
But
would do it. He'd be
if I
like,
was a senior officer, he would have to.
James. James.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, so was I a bad kid in fourth grade?
No, you were a mouthy kid in the
What?
from 3 years old when you spoke your first words.
Hey, I was not
Um,
3 when I spoke my first word.
4. What were you,
So
4?
rude. Mom, fact check.
So,
Fact
and
check
and
him.
Christina spoke with an English accent.
Yes, I
She
did.
was
Diva, my favorite Brit, is definitely asleep because she's actually in London, and I even fooled her with my British accent one of the
yes.
first times. So I definitely thought I was Mary Poppins, but I did speak before I was 3. Just a lot happened at 3 because I would say my elementary school life was all about unearned confidence because I was this little prodigy. I don't know that I was potty trained early. I was tying my shoes quick. I still don't know how to tie my shoes normally, you guys.
No, she still uses double rabbit
I still
ears.
tie them bunny ears. So I had like I entered school and we did a summer school my first year. I think it was between kindergarten and first grade. It might have been between pre-K and kindergarten. And you were supposed to learn like the letter A, and I was like grabbing the books from the top shelf in the thing that were for like week 11 for the third graders. And I was like,
Right.
can I just do this? Because like I know all those words and all those letters. And so I kind of went, I was, you know, a little bit of a braggy kid. I'm like, well, I know how to do that.
Yes.
I turned in my test first. I got better grades than the boys. I broke my arm trying to show the boys that I'm tougher than them. Still tougher, but it did break my collarbone or my clavicle.
You
As
broke your
we
clavicle.
and Dad, do you want to sing them the song?
So I have a horrible singing voice, but when she
It's
broke her
lovely and velvet.
clavicle, I made her a song and it goes like this. There's a little baby crack, a little baby crack, a little baby crack in my clavicle. There's not a crack here, there's not a crack there. There's a little baby crack in my clavicle. All right,
And
that was the song.
and that was all I needed while we were in the waiting room or whatever to get
Yes.
my sling. But I, mom's comedy. But yeah, so like I said, I just was like, I'm the best at everything. So I would only want to play soccer because you do soccer for PE, but I'd get stuck with the girls. And I'm like, no, I want to play with the boys because I know I'm tougher than Austin and he doesn't think I would run faster. It was just super competitive because I was always told I was special and that I was, like an exception. And I'm telling you, unearned confidence gets you far because I mean, I guess some of it was earned confidence. It was actually, quite bright, but I was definitely not good at sports. I don't run fast, but I needed to prove it. But it also made me a brat.
Yes, you were a brat, but
Mm-hmm.
your biggest problem was not that you did a lot of bratty things. Your problem was you had a bratty mouth, and you
I still
just wouldn't
do.
shut up. You wouldn't back down,
Mm-mm.
and you would do things like, "Well, I'm just not going to," and then you wouldn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that was hard.
Hard to
That was
parent.
hard as a parent. That was
Uh-huh.
hard
And I got it
because
from
you.
you, so it was even harder because you were seeing yourself and you were like,
Um,
how
I
would
don't
I be
know if you
that?
got that from me because I was never a mouthy kid.
Well, I
I
wasn't throwing people in
actually
trash cans, so I wasn't the other one.
no, that would have been the rest of your DNA, not my
Yeah,
half.
another lady.
Yes. But one thing about you, and this is something else that folks need to know,
Mm.
because you were so gifted in math, you had this very, very bad habit of correcting your teachers.
Oh, yes.
And for I believe 2 or 3 years in a row, it might have been second, third, and fourth,
That's probably
where
right.
where we got called to the office, and it's okay. So what did she do? Well, she's talking too much in class, and the question is, well, what is she talking about? Well, she was being very disrespectful to the teacher. And I said, okay, what did she do? She says, well, she said something about I was doing math wrong. I was doing, and so immediately I stopped. And I said,
Were
okay,
you doing it wrong? That would have been what I asked the
so
teacher.
let me ask you a question. What were you doing? And the teacher said, well, I was doing math problems on the board, and she just wouldn't stop talking. She was just very rudely interrupting me. And so I asked her, I said, so was she correct?
Of course I was.
And she says, well, that's not the point. And I said, and I asked Christina, so Christina, why were you correcting the teacher? And my arrogant little, overconfident little elementary school child says, well, Daddy, the teacher can't teach the children wrong. How will they ever learn?
Dude,
And
I was steps ahead. I was just like, we've already figured this out. Everyone knows this. Move on. And they're like, we haven't taught it yet. How does everyone know?
and then you used to get in trouble for answering all your math problems without showing your work.
Which
you wouldn't even
impossible for me because I don't do the steps. I have the answer too fast. I can't write it. This is you'll see so much of that in book 2. It's a lot.
That was another call to the teacher's office.
And they're like, she's cheating. You're like, no.
Yes, she's cheating. How can she know this? And I let them know, well, she's been doing her older sister's work since she was 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing.
I loved to do Gracious homework. She hated it. I don't remember Mika's. Mika was just real quiet. Oh, Cam,
well, but you also,
you, Papa.
I know, I see Cam. Hi, Cam.
And hi to
Cece.
Cammy for saying something.
Are the rest of my grandbabies on? They're supposed to be. If you are, send me a note so I can say hi.
Uh-oh. Hopefully they'll hear.
So Christina, and this is another thing about her and her math.
You're calling me Christina.
So she was.
No one watches.
No one knows you as Christina. So are you booging? Are you stink?
Boogie.
Are you stinky? Are you Puggins? Squirt. That's my favorite. That's what I call you all the time. But
they like that one. When I told
them really?
to call me Squirt on speakerphone at work one. You were like, hey, Squirtle.
Hi, Ange.
Hey, Shay. Oh, the girls are watching. Tristan's just on there.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Stink. Okay, so Stink
yes.
is definitely the version of me that I wrote Taj from. Because again, I'm no boy, and I have no brothers. I mean, Aaron I didn't grow up with the one boy cousin really close by or anything. So I was the boy. I was kind of the boy of the family, and
you weren't the boy. You just thought you were.
Well, that's fine, but there were there were tendencies, right? So I didn't love bathing, but I don't think I was actually smelly. I think it was more you just didn't shower for 4 days.
Often.
So we're just
couple weeks.
Oh, you stink. So I got away with it a little bit more because I was a good smelling person, but it was like, you probably stink, so go get in there. But the main reason that I didn't shower was because I would have to wake up earlier. And all I wanted was
you never woke up on time.
No.
So, but
I would sleep in my clothes for the next day.
But taking a bath at night would have worked.
Well, which is what I do now, which is what the adult version of me has resolved to do. But yeah, I just didn't like morning showers. I didn't like not knowing if the water was going to be hot because of the other people that actually got up before me.
Right. And then I used to have to play that song to wake you up.
Oh, wake up,
you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed.
You guys, I will totally link to that video because you're gonna love it. Anybody that has kids, I need Mika to use that on the kids. I don't, Tristan, the kids might be a little too old for it to work, but they don't want to wake up either. So it's like a song progressively is like, why are you asleep again?
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I'm trying to think what else we haven't talked about. You guys have any questions for Jimbo or for me? Oh, Mika says she sings it.
Mika sings it every morning.
Oh.
That's so nice.
How cute. You've got a lot to do today. Okay. So let's see what else. What else? Fourth grade, fourth grade. Did you guys have like a pet, class pet or anything like that in fourth grade?
So we had a dog, and her name was Queenie.
Oh,
She was a lab
the
mix,
famous
and
Queenie.
well, so we had two Queenies,
Right.
which is
Queenie one
interesting.
was so was Queenie one.
This was Queenie one. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
Queenie one, and she was a lab mix. She was very. This was back in the days where you could actually leave your dogs outside. They didn't have to have air conditioning or heat.
Or
You just had
clothing.
to give them. Yeah,
She's on her own
and
blanket right now. No big deal.
so in the fourth grade, let's see, we were living in. Oh, we were on the house in on Dallas Drive,
Yep. When I was in
and
fourth grade.
when you
Yeah.
were in fourth grade,
No pets.
and no, we didn't have any pets.
We had the we had a big old chow mix when I
We
was
had, but that
really
was before
little.
we left. That was we had Theodophilus Theo. We had Theo
Theophil-
before we
Theophilus
left the house on
Alexander.
Deer
So he
Falls.
was Theo, and I'm very, very sure he was named Theo after the Cosbys, Malcolm Jamal Warner, which of
Well,
course,
his name was Theodophilus Alexander.
yeah, but
You have to
Theodore
ask your
is
mom about that one.
yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
that'll be on her week. But Theodore is the name of the one from Cosby Show. Either way, it's full circle because Malcolm Jamal Warner is my visual for
Yes,
Christopher Couture
yes.
when I am writing his stuff. So yeah, Chris. So one thing is we were trying to figure out a name for the dads, and I kept picking names that either weren't popular at that time or were too generic. So Dad literally like went in like born in 1973 or however old the Gen X parents, because since the kids are 10. So yeah, since the kids are 10, their parents are like 40. And so it was like, what was the popular name? Not the first most popular.
Right.
Theophilus Alexander Burns. Okay, so
Yeah.
hey Tish, I hope the kids are watching. Okay, so the question was, did you go on field trips?
Did we go on
You can
field
tell them
trips,
about Negro Day
did you
too.
go on field trips? So
Did you go on field trips? And then I can answer too.
um
You can tell them
oh,
about
boy.
Negro Day. They'll enjoy that story.
Negro Days?
Yeah, at the amusement park.
Okay, well, yeah,
So I'll set
that
it
was
up.
so
We
interesting.
were watching Hairspray, which is like, I
Yes.
think it's 1963 or 1964 that it's set in. And they were like, and then once a month we have our Negro Day. And it's the, like everyone's favorite day, right? Because it's all the good dancers. And then Dad was like, we actually had those.
We
And it was
did.
at the amusement park.
So in Ohio, where we lived was right on the border of West Virginia and Kentucky, so the tri-state area. So it's 20 miles to West Virginia, or 40 miles to
I
West
don't
Virginia,
like two of those three states.
and 1 mile to Kentucky, just right across the river.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go to this amusement park called Camden Yards.
Oh, named after Camden, your grandson?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? So we would go to Camden Park every year. And I remember when we would go, it was like my brother and I hope he's still on the call.
He might have popped out, but
So
we
we used to go, and we would see all the church buses there, the school buses. So we thought it was church day.
Church
Now,
day.
Fast forward, we're 40 something, or we might even be 50 years old. And we're having a conversation with my Uncle Kenny, who is my mom's youngest brother.
Right.
And so we're talking about us going to Camden Park on church day. And there were and my uncle says, church day? Says, you fools. It wasn't church day. That was the only day we were allowed to go.
Yeah. It's church day.
So we got to go to Camden Park once a year.
Oh, once a year?
And I believe
once a month during summer.
Once a year. And I believe that it was right before school started, or it was somewhere at the end of August, the early September,
So it was
once a
like
year.
a day they weren't making that much money anyway. They're like,
I don't know, but it was, there was a lot of separate but equal back then, and separate never was equal. But it's just it was
yeah.
church day.
So we're gonna
I
go with
mean,
someone sent in a question, so we're gonna answer it, and then we'll just say our goodbyes because it'll kick us off at 8. So
okay,
the question is, I'll answer it first. The question is, what's your favorite memory from 4th grade?
okay,
So for me, you can think of yours, Dad. So for me, I had this friend named Michelle. Auntie Brady said separate and equal still isn't equal. So
right,
just for everyone to know, we're still activists. So I had this friend named Michelle, and the mall had just opened. So there were all of these cool stores, and one of them was called The Limited, or Limited 2. And it was kids' clothes that were like grown-ups. And like grown-up style clothes. And so Michelle and I had decided on this really cool outfit. It looked just like Ty from Clueless. So it was like suspenders and a top and like some pinstripe pants or something. We were like, we'll both get it, and then we'll use it for the talent show. And then I was like, okay, but I only have enough money for an Auntie Anne's pretzel, so I'm gonna have to come back and get it. And then Dad was like, no, I'm not spending $50 for you to wear suspenders. Like, that's weird. And so instead, we wore these free t-shirts that you got at the opening of the mall from Mervyn's. I'm sure most people on here are about my age, so y'all remember Mervyn's. But it was Mervyn's California. So it was like, I don't know, the updated one. And so we had these matching shirts, and I think they had to be in Dad's size. And we're in 4th grade, so we have like the sleeves all rolled up. And we sang for the talent show was I Saw the Sign by Ace of Base. And the problem is we didn't realize they needed background music. So we had headphones, those older headphones, and we were just singing a cappella. We were listening to the same song, but no one can hear the song. So it was terrible. And there's pictures of it in the yearbook of like talent day or whatever. And that's fun because, again, it didn't affect my confidence at all. Michelle she probably took it harder, whatever. But I was like, yeah, no, we aced it. Everyone wants to be us. That was perfect. Who needs backup music? And neither of us are known for our voices. We're definitely both dancers.
Definitely dancers.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Not singers. Yeah, that was my favorite part. I really loved performances, and I didn't get to do them frequently because I was never the kid that was in the plays. So you didn't have pep rallies and stuff till middle and high school, and that's when I only got worse being completely.
Yes, but the best play that I've ever seen you guys in was when you guys did Cats.
Oh, I loved it.
Your play on Cats was better than that theatrical version that they just released that's out right now.
I need to find the video. It was so
I may
good.
have it.
Yeah, I think it's a tape. Like, it's that long ago.
So it's a VHS tape.
It was so good. I was
It was very good.
If anyone's knows who they are.
Yes,
okay, so
you were in Cats.
Your favorite 4th grade memory. It's okay if it blurs, if it's a little bit of 3rd or 5th, because you were kind of that was your one time to be in the same spot. So what do you got for me?
Okay, so most of my memories I have real fond memories, especially the 4th grade, was just playing baseball. Yeah. So most of my fond memories are around sports. I was so shy.
Were you good at it?
Very good.
Okay. Well, sometimes you just like stuff you're not good at.
Well, I mean, I was so little that my place to shine was sports. And so, when I said earlier about my brother saying, you guys better pick him because if you don't, he's going to take it out on you. I was so mean.
Yeah, that's right.
I was that little guy. I was that little guy who was mean.
You were Twiggy.
And so when we played
Oh, Uncle
our
Brian.
first year.
Uncle Brian says
So
pop
if my dad was not deployed, if he was not deployed, he was our coach. He
Oh,
was
just like
he was
I
one
got
of the
dad.
coaches.
Dad coached me in basketball. So you
Yes.
guys, that's another full circle. Whew.
And so Brian was our starting pitcher. He was our best player on the team, and everybody always thought he was like 5 years older. So my mom used to always have to take his birth certificate,
He took that human growth hormone.
and no one ever asked for mine.
They're like, oh, little boy. Oh, the
The
little
little
boy.
guy. It's like, are you sure he's on this team? There was a peewee team over there.
Oh,
So however good my brother was, I always had to be just as good because I didn't want to be the little squirt that wasn't any good.
yeah, and you played
And
with him. So I mean, you practiced with him.
yes,
So
yeah. And so making the all-star team,
mm,
what that was
yeah.
those were the highlights. And always making the all-star team from
Do you
that
even
point
like
forward.
baseball
Well, remember I broke my leg playing it,
now? No, it's
so
not that. Yes, but do you like watching it? Like I don't never
no,
seen you watch a baseball game before.
I've never liked watching baseball. It's a
Huh.
long, boring sport to watch, but it's a great sport to play.
Yeah, I'm
It's
terrible at it.
terrible to watch,
I'm
but
so
it's a
bad
great
at it.
sport.
I'm I did not get your baseball genes.
No,
Maybe I
ma'am.
got anti-frizz or bumps.
No. See, now here's the thing. Nana was a great ball player.
Ah.
Poppy was a tremendous athlete.
Okay, so I'm just all on mom's
Auntie
side.
Auntie Franny could shoot with that left right hand. We never know which hand it was coming out of, but she could definitely shoot basketball. She could throw a baseball.
No,
She could catch.
I could just
So,
like
yeah,
push
you had
whatever
aggression.
sport doesn't matter.
You
Just
had
tell me when you
aggression.
need someone to push someone over because I got some
Yes.
range.
And if someone fouled you, you went.
And I'd be mad at them for a week. Not until the game was
Yes.
over. I would be writing about them. I do not like this person. If I knew her name was Alice, Alice, and a circle and a cross through it. She's on my list, man. Okay, well, we almost hit the hour mark. So thanks for this fun little look into your life. I mean, I cannot believe how selfish I am. I didn't know any of this stuff about you. Kids always forget that their parents existed before they were born.
Yes.
And it's like, oh,
My life did not count until you were born. So.
yeah, I mean, until I realized, oh, wait, 25 is not very old to have 3 kids. Maybe dad was scrambling or maybe he was learning on the job. And, you don't think about that until you hit 25 and then,
Nope. I was very much.
I'm almost 25 now. So.
I was very mature at 15 or 16. So.
Yeah. You guys grew up fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very mature. Started working when I was 12, 13 years old, had a real job, a real paycheck. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, everyone's saying that they had a good time. So,
well, good.
Thanking you for bringing me into the world. Half of it. We'll give you credit in week 5. Okay, guys. So I know everybody on here has read the book, but now you'll just have a little bit more info. And if you want to give it for presents, anything like that. Yeah, I'm 25, Uncle Brian. Don't tell them the truth. I'm almost 25. I'll be 25 in March. But yeah, if anybody's thinking about gifting it or whatever, it will be ready. It'll be here, and then book 2 is so close to being done. I can't wait. Some of you guys gotten a sneak peek at the cover, so you'll get to read the whole book, and it is Alani centered, so it is long because she's the chatty one. So I love you guys, and thanks, Dad.
Okay, before you get off, I just wanted to say about your cover. Okay. I saw a picture of Stacey Abrams the other day on Instagram with. Yes,
I love. Oh, y'all know I love some Stacey Abrams. Oh, we had a good group today. So thanks to the siblings of Dad for fact checking him real time, and then Mom for verifying the name of the dog. Okay, I will see you guys next week at the same time.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye. This was fun.
Oh yeah, it was.
Bye. So we need you guys to come on the book tour with us.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
All
And
right. Bye.
bye.